Do you think the Acolyte is gonna be the worst piece of Star Wars media ever made up until this point? I think it has potential.
Main reason why the Acolyte series got ratioed across all forms of social media, as far as I see it, is that their overall agenda with diversity, equity, and inclusion couldn't be any more obvious at this point, and the fact that we have had people out there like Leslie Headland, the showrunner and the director of the series.
The fact that you look at the Acolyte trailer and you can play the game, count the white men because there's not a single one of them almost there, is impressive, yes.
Is openly admitting that their priority with the show is all about focusing on that instead of proper ways of storytelling, proper ways of filmmaking, really just goes to show you that this series is going to be nothing more than a message, alright?
Never doubt the message. Disney literally lost $3 billion last year, and they fully admitted that they know they lost it because exactly of BS like this. And what did they do? Nothing. They kept on trudging along, and they fully are aware that they're most likely gonna burn more money. They have not made a single cent from the Star Wars IP since acquiring the rights to it, which is crazy. And they're trying to obfuscate this fact by saying, oh, well, you know, we just don't count any longer the amount of money that we needed to pay Lucas to actually get these rights to the Star Wars franchise. It's just horrible. They know it. They know why it's bad, and yet they don't care.
With the Star Wars label slapped on over it. Now, the fact that we have people out there as well, like Kathleen Kennedy, backing this series up, really endlessly defending everything, and there's been a lot of drama happening behind the scenes over...
Well, considering Rey Palpatine is Kathleen Kennedy's self-insert into the franchise as the bestest ever, yeah, she is not gonna let this franchise die, because that would be akin to letting herself die.
At Lucasfilm in the wake of the Acolyte Season 2 getting cancelled due to the ongoing backlash and Bob Iger's cost containment plan. This is where things begin to really fall apart. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also that those like Leslie Headland, Amanda Stenberg, the main cast member of the series, along with Kathleen Kennedy, have been endlessly attacking fans and really defending the series at all costs.
God, look at that. You know there has not been a single speck of happiness in that life. And the only happiness that she will ever know is trying to destroy the happiness of others.
Really saying things like there's no agenda here, and at the same exact time there is an agenda. This is the same copy and paste, you know, nonsense that they have been spewing about the Acolyte. Now look, at the same exact time, we know that the Acolyte is going to be The Last Jedi 2.0. The reason why I say that is that Leslie and Kathleen, even Amanda, have openly admitted as well that this series really looked up to Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. So, with that being said, with the Acolyte already considered the most disliked Star Wars series before its release due to Disney and Leslie Headland's deliberate and obvious agenda, one major development now involves more to do with actress Amanda Stenberg and what she had to deliver as a response to the fan backlash and the trailer getting heavily disliked from both fans and non-fans. Stenberg delivered the following. As someone who loves to embrace the fact that I'm non-binary, I think the most important thing about this direction for Star Wars is how Leslie really found incredible ways to really focus on the relationships of these characters, and how some of them can be considered non-binary in the canon.
When anyone talks about any franchise and their way of opening or contextualizing things is, oh, I really love the fact that someone's non-binary or gay or whatever the hell there, you know that's bad. You know it's going down the completely wrong road that it should have went. You know everything is already on fire.
That fans follow. This is the High Republic, which gives us full...
Jesus, can it be, you know, if you're gonna put in, you know, a black woman or a black whatever in every movie? Can we at least make it so not all of them have dreads? You know? Can we at least do that? I'm getting tired of the only... If aliens watch our media, our movies, they probably are gonna assume that blacks just by nature default have dreads, and there's no other styles of hair don't exist.
Full freedom to break the rules and traditions of Star Wars that fans grew up with. This is not George Lucas's Star Wars. This is going to be Leslie's vision, and one priority that we focused on was how we could represent the many different communities that have remained in the shadows for way too long in this industry.
Oh, glorious, yes. All the things that have... are they talking about white men at this point? I can't even tell.
I think the Acolyte is going to provide confidence to these many different communities, including the LGBTQ community, that will be
hell yeah, because they deserve more representation.
Honored, of course, to witness how their backgrounds will be deeply addressed in the canon of this series. I think it's also important for us all to realize that Star Wars always needed to eventually detach from what George had built. I just think you are always going to have to deal with angry, entitled fans who are afraid of women and the LGBTQ community being addressed in both film and television. Leslie is, of course, going to show everyone out there that there are ways to normalize that, to kind of get rid of that stigma in this industry, and how that all starts with the Acolyte. I really don't think...
Oh boy, yeah. It all starts with the Acolyte. It all starts with Rey. It all starts with this thing 15 years ago. The first woman in Star Wars history. The first black producer to lose way more money than anyone else in history. The first everything. Ah, yes. Man, every woke garbage dumpster fire needs to be the first at something. When are they gonna stop having first things to do? They're already repeating themselves. So, come on.
Think that we are dealing with any level of an alarming backlash at all. We have seen this before with The Last Jedi, and it all meant nothing essentially, and Star Wars has become even greater in recent years. Everything that Kathleen Kennedy has done has been truly...
Arguably, Star Wars has been absolutely destroyed by Disney. Star Wars' hold on the market, Star Wars' popularity, when it first came out, was literally in the high heavens. But this is like barely biting at the knees of what it could have been.
Inspirational to the brand, and you are going to have naysayers and entitled loud opinions that I think just need to remain silent. And if those who claim to be fans of this franchise that hold some sort of issue with Kathy's direction for Star Wars, I just don't think that you are a fan at all at this point. I think any fan will respect anything that is coming out right now, both in live action or animated. It's better than nothing, right? So I just say, deal with it as it is and enjoy whatever it is that Kathy is delivering here. Leslie's goal is to truly address the LGBTQ community in this one, for both the characters and the cast, and how that has been pretty...
I mean, Mike makes stuff up a lot, but I would not be surprised if this is correct.
Pretty much our
I mean, not a lot of people would be surprised if this is correct. You see the Acolyte trailer, you know that it's gonna be a complete shit show.
As well, and one of the greatest experiences in my career. This fandom, I think, really has a toxic side that will never subside no matter what you do, but you can at least try to minimize that in a reach for them to accept.
Calling people who don't want their favorite ways of spending their leisure time being absolutely destroyed by people who think that, you know, that everyone needs to know about some kind of trans BS. Yeah, that's normal people. They don't need to be quiet. They're just normal people. You're the crazy one.
The many communities that we are going to address and represent in this series. That was our priority for the Acolyte, and it still is today. I think haters are just gonna hate just because this time it's not all about the powerful... This time it's not all about the powerful patriarchy that we have seen in so many films under...
Ah, yes, the patriarchy. You know, the thing that makes good movies. How sad.
The Star Wars brand. This one is about the women, and Leslie really has so many great messages.
The last 5 were about the women and gays and whatever other things you have there going on. They already were about this.
That will serve as an inspirational piece to all filmmakers around the world. Now guys, let me just say one thing about this before I move on about what Amandla is really just spewing about the Acolyte once more, is the fact that they're always going on about the LGBTQ community this and that. You know, rinse and repeat. And what's even more revealing is that there are members of that community that have actually called out Lucasfilm that are really opposed to what Lucasfilm is doing with the Acolyte. And that also is very revealing. You know, it just goes to show you that this message that they are delivering essentially means nothing, and it's nothing more than an agenda. Now look, we have seen Leslie Headland, Kathleen Kennedy, Amandla, and among others say that there's no agenda here with Lucasfilm, with the Acolyte, and what they're doing over there, and they will endlessly
no agenda, yet there is an agenda. I never really understood that.
Attack fans. It doesn't matter what people say or what people have to offer. They will, without a doubt, you know, never acknowledge the fact that there are also members of the LGBTQ community that want nothing to do with the...
Oh, those aren't the good ones. Those are the bad ones.
...ongoing agenda related to Star Wars, right? And that really just goes to show you what's going on with the Acolyte series. So, this Acolyte show, no matter, of course, what is coming out from Disney, they will endlessly defend it at all costs. Moving on.
Oh, this is a common thing. Claim to do something for women. Women hate it en masse, and no one agrees with you. Start claiming that all those women are stupid because they don't understand that it's good for them. Nice.
She goes on to conclude, this one is about the women, and Leslie really has so many different messages that we really want to tell. Fans that are being too loud and a nuisance are just ruining the experience for those that want to enjoy a good show, and perhaps they should keep quiet with their opinions. So again, I mean, it's all about you should remain silent, and that you should never really say what you are feeling about a show or any of the marketing campaigns that are leading up to the release of a show like this. Now, we talked about the drama. There's been a lot of drama happening behind the scenes with the Acolyte Season 2 getting axed, Leslie Headland getting removed from various Star Wars films and television shows, either as a director and as a co-writer as well. And that, of course, has a lot to do with
the diversity hired haircut, the diversity hired... Mine's not. Stop looking at me. The diversity higher robes.
With what we talked about, how Bob Iger's cost containment plan, yes, was a part of that, but the main reason was the backlash has been so severe to this point that there's no hiding it. And, you know, I think it's quite ridiculous that you have people like Headland, people like Kennedy, and even people like Stenberg saying that the backlash is the minority, and that there's really nothing to worry about. Well, this is the first Star Wars show, the first Star Wars project, if you will, that got ratioed to this degree that we have never seen before. Never seen before under Disney.
That is true, though. The Acolyte trailer got ratioed beyond oblivion. Now, Disney is not getting the greatest... what do we call this? Not the greatest reception? Yeah, reception's a good word. They're not getting the greatest reception from fans, but the Acolyte, holy, that was a different thing. That was a different universe.
Under any form of social media, mind you, it really goes to show you that the agenda now is so deliberate, it's so obvious that there's no running away from it. So overall, guys, you know, drop a comment.
Hey, there was never a way to run away from it in any case. Mike Zerat, baby. Anyway, this was Quizzer saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice day. Bye bye.